What if Earth had two suns? This question sounds like it came straight out of a science fiction movie. Actually, it comes from people like you, curious minds who wonder what our planet would be like if we had two suns instead of one. So, let's imagine. One morning, you wake up, look out the window, and there's not one, but two bright suns shining in the sky. At first, this might seem amazing. Double the sunshine, double the sunsets, twice the fun at the beach. But pretty soon, the problems would start. You see, our planet, Earth, orbits the sun in a very delicate balance. The sun's gravity pulls us toward it, while our planet's speed keeps us flying in a stable orbit. If a second sun suddenly appeared, that balance would be completely thrown off. Let's say this second sun is about the same size and mass as our current one. Not some tiny star, but a full twin of our sun. If the two stars orbited each other closely, Earth would orbit both of them together, kind of like being caught in a cosmic dance. But this dance wouldn't be very graceful. Depending on where the two suns were in the sky, Earth could be pulled back and forth, speeding up and slowing down at different times of the year. This would make our seasons strange, very strange. Instead of the steady rhythm of spring, summer, autumn, and winter that we're used to, we'd have wild swings in temperature. When both suns were on the same side of the sky, daytime temperatures could soar, roasting the surface of the planet. But when the two suns were on opposite sides of the sky, there might be a period of slightly cooler temperatures, though probably never truly cold. And forget about night as we know it. With two suns, it would be much harder to have complete darkness. Unless both suns happened to set at the same time, you'd get only a dim twilight instead of true night. Imagine trying to go stargazing. Instead of a beautiful dark sky full of stars, you'd see a faint glow that never quite went away. Good luck seeing the Milky Way. Now, let's talk about plants. Plants on Earth have evolved over millions of years to handle just the right amount of sunlight. If they suddenly had twice the light and heat, most of them would probably struggle. Many plants would get scorched, while others might grow too quickly or bloom at the wrong times. Entire ecosystems would be thrown into chaos. And what about people? Well, first, we'd need much better air conditioning. Cities would have to adapt to extreme heat, especially during the times when both suns were in the sky. But beyond that, our entire way of life would change. Think about sleep. Our bodies rely on the rhythm of day and night to know when to rest. With barely any true night, many people might struggle with sleep disorders or constant fatigue. Even if we figured out ways to block the extra light with thick curtains or underground buildings, our crops and animals would still be affected. Farming would have to change, possibly moving indoors to controlled environments. Many animals that rely on darkness for hunting or breeding would be confused. Owls, bats, fireflies, they might struggle to survive. But let's not stop there. The biggest problem might not be the heat or the light. It could be gravity. If the two suns were far enough apart, Earth might end up bouncing between them in an unstable orbit. Over time, this could cause the planet's orbit to stretch into an odd shape, taking us much farther from the suns at some times of the year and much closer at others. When we got too close, the heat could be unbearable. When we got too far, the planet could freeze. In fact, it's very hard to imagine an Earth with two suns that would stay stable for millions of years. Most likely, over long periods of time, Earth would either be flung out of the solar system entirely or crash into one of the suns, neither of which would be great for life on our planet. But what if we lived on a planet that formed naturally in a system with two suns? These do exist. Astronomers have found planets orbiting twin stars. In those cases, the planet's orbit forms early on, and the two stars settle into a stable pattern. Life on such a world would evolve very differently from life on Earth. Plants might develop special ways to handle extra sunlight. Animals might evolve to be nocturnal, only active during rare periods of darkness. And if intelligent life arose, their entire culture, their myths, their art, their understanding of the universe would be shaped by having two suns in the sky. One thing's for sure, sunsets would be amazing. On a world with two suns, you could see double sunsets. First one sun dipping below the horizon, followed by the other. Or sometimes, both might set at the same time, painting the sky in colors we can hardly imagine. And sunrises? Twice as beautiful. So, what would happen if Earth had two suns? It would be a world of blazing skies, wild weather, and massive changes to life as we know it. Humanity would have to adapt or find shelter underground. Nature would change, and many species might vanish. But the view would be unforgettable.